Yeah. So this might be a good time to share the exciting news that we have. We're offering something new at the Global Autism Project.
Yeah.
So, Molly, I'll let you go ahead and announce it.
Yeah. So we're really, I don't know if you remember back in March or April, I said to you all, what I do know is that this is going to be the best thing that ever happened for this organization. This is not to diminish the loss of lives. This is not to diminish the loss of jobs. This is not to diminish the challenges. But what I know is that this is going to be the best thing that ever happened for this organization. The things don't happen to us, they happen for us. I didn't know what that was going to look like. I had no idea what that was going to look like. And none of us did, but I know, having been through hard times in my life, on the other side of it is always like, oh, but if that quote bad thing didn't happen, these good things would have never happened. And I think where we are right now in the pandemic, though it is still going on, is still challenging. We are still, there's a lot, right? We are, at least right now, we are able to start to see some of the good that's come out of it. And that is what I knew, that whatever this looks like, it's going to be one of the best things ever happened for this organization. About 3-ish months ago, we finally started to see what that was going to look like. One of the things that we've always wanted to do is have a much bigger reach. But as a society, we had ideas on what it is that we can do and not do in person and for live events. And our leadership training was something that we absolutely knew had to be a live event to have an impact, right? It's like we had rented out houses on the beach for it in the past. We'd rented out summer camps. It was a very immersive, focused experience. And there was, in our minds, no way that this could be virtual. And as society has shifted and now anything goes on Zoom, you can literally do anything. We have been able to create our leadership training as an online training. So this was something that was traditionally limited to our partners, attendees at Global Summit, and our trip leaders. And what we learned through doing it with all those people is how valuable it was and how much they appreciated it. And, it was something that we kind of did once or twice a year. It was also one of our favorite things to do. It was like, ooh, it's Leadership Academy time. So this year has been really, really incredible for that. We've been able to, and as we're in this pressure cooker of leadership, right? We've been able to really create an amazing online curriculum that gets at just what I was talking about, that leadership is an inside job. And while there are, of course, practical skills involved in all of it and what we're doing, there is also the bigger focus, the bigger component is being a leader in your own life, in your own world, and really giving you a powerful place to stand, to operate from through all of this. So that is online officially, which is very exciting. I'm sure we'll put a link in the show notes to that. And, we have taken about 80 people through it so far. And to be perfectly honest, I was even skeptical that people were going to get what they need to get out of Zoom calls and online recorded. And I've had a couple people who've been to the live events and they're like, this is better. Like, this is amazing. And so that's been really, really cool. And I'm really just so excited. There's just, what we're dealing with in our community on a very basic level is a lack of leadership and accountability. And this training brings this not only into the ABA and the autism space, but into the world, right? And so it's really exciting. And I think, a lot of, as I said, I used to think that leadership just meant putting someone in charge of a group of people and then ta-da, they were leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing that in this field. We're seeing people who are graduating from grad school, they're BCBAs, they're in charge of a group of people, ta-da, they're leaders. And they don't
Yeah.
have leadership training to make it happen.
Yeah, I think the requirement, unless it's changed recently, but when I got my BCBA certification and to be able to actually supervise people, all I had to do was do um, an 8-hour training, which,
Yeah.
doesn't prepare you for how to be compassionate and how to have those difficult conversations. And, talking about what's happening in the field right now, I think it's kind of like that pink elephant in the room that maybe no one
Yes,
wants to say out loud, or maybe people just aren't aware of. But you see a lot
absolutely.
of companies who like become quote like corporate, right?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
you have these clinicians, these BCBAs, these registered behavior technicians who are feeling like they're just another number.
Hmm.
And that comes from how leadership up at the top is trickled down and what
Hmm.
people are seeing as role models in an organization,
Hmm.
in an agency.
Yeah.
I think one of the also really powerful things about Leadership Academy and what we're offering is that anyone can take it from whatever level that you're at. You don't have to
Yeah,
be a C-level
absolutely.
executive. You can
Yes,
be an
yes.
RBT doing the groundwork and find value in how you will and who you are and who you're being with families, with your clients, with your
Yeah,
coworkers.
yeah, yeah. It is really powerful training. And it is, we've run leadership, we've run Skill Corps for over a decade. It is literally like 10 years of leadership training, and training people to be a Skill Corps leader is not an easy thing on any level, right? It's like what skill core leaders are doing is going into the field, and by field I mean another country, another time zone, another culture, right? And leading a group of people they've never met, and creating that camaraderie and creating that bond and creating they are it, it's huge. It's huge what skill core leaders are taking on. And also, when they've come back from trips, they're like getting a promotion at work, taking on new projects, not leaving the company they thought they were going to have to leave because they saw no way of making change from their little position, And now they're there and they're making a difference, and it's amazing for everybody. So I think now we have the opportunity for entire companies to go through this.
Hmm.
Now we have the opportunity for entire leadership teams to go through this and to create kind of a common language and an understanding, and to create a workplace that works.
Hmm. Yeah.
And back to that idea of stepping over things, right? It's like we spend our whole lives stepping over things because we don't know how, we don't want to deal with it, we don't want to upset people, we don't want to, whatever the reason is.
Hmm.
And when you create an environment where you don't step over things and things get handled and people operate in full integrity, it's a really different place.
Yeah. And ultimately, going targeting the why of why people are in this field. They want to
Yeah,
help
yeah.
families, they want to help children, they want to teach them skills so that they can be more independent and just live better quality lives. And if they are better leaders in whatever position they're in and they have more self-awareness and they're able to work more efficiently because the company culture has been developed and nurtured, then
Hmm.
looking at the
Hmm.
impact that that's going to have on the families is
Yeah,
huge.
absolutely. Yeah, it's a ripple effect, and it
Hmm.
matters. Leadership matters.
You've been watching Autism Knows No Borders. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so let us know what you think in the comments section. Click here to watch this interview in its entirety. You can also find us on your favorite podcast app. Tune in each week for engaging conversations of how people across the globe are inspiring change and building community. Thanks for watching. Take care.